for this project, I want to spell out Happy Easter, and then we'll put an Easter basket down here and maybe a couple of other little character things, maybe a little rabbit, maybe a little chicken, or you can make up your own stuff. Alright, first we're going to spell out Happy Easter. Now we're going to do something a little bit different for the H. We're going to make it into a bubble letter. It's really not hard to do, so don't be afraid to try. I'm going to go up here in this area, and I've got my paper in the landscape direction because it works best for this project. I'm going to put a line that's long, about like a toothpick. And I'm going to put two of them side by side. Now don't be afraid to try this. This is going to be the H eventually. So just do what I do for now, and you'll see how it turns out. I put a round piece on top and a round piece on the bottom, and that makes the first side of our H. Now I'm going to go over and draw two more lines. It's like two toothpicks laying side by side, and they're really about as long as a toothpick. I'm going to round over the top and round over the bottom. And then put two pieces across for the middle. Now you can see my H is not perfectly formed. I've got a little problem right there, but it's okay. I can erase because I'm using a Sharpie. I try to keep the bottoms of the letters lined up, so I'm going to put the A like this, just a normal A. I'm not going to do a bubble letter A, or any of the other letters except for the E in a few minutes. Here's the P, and then again, and finally the Y. I'm going to skip over and make the E, and again it's like two toothpicks very close together. I'm going to round over the top, round over the bottom, and then two lines, round over the end, two lines side by side, round over the end, one more time for the middle piece. It's really not hard to make bubble letters if you just take your time. I'm still trying to keep these lined up across the bottom. It just makes it look better. It's neat if you do it that way. It makes it neater. There's the A, S, T, E, R. You could put an exclamation point if you want to, but you don't have to. I'm going to put a little curved line in the corner and make that into a sun. And a couple little birds. I like to put little birds in the sky every now and then. Now, we're going to draw an Easter basket, maybe a baby chicken and a little rabbit. And then you can do some other things if you want to, like put jelly beans on the ground, or the little tree things in the background. Alright. To do the basket, I want you to put your hand right in the middle of the page across this way. And we're going to go up from the bottom and make a dot here, and then jump way over straight over and make a dot there. So we've got 2 dots that far apart, and they're not on the bottom edge, they're spaced up away from the bottom edge. Okay, now from those 2 dots, let me show you. I'm going to make a big horseshoe shape, great big horseshoe shape, just way up and around and back down. Don't worry about hitting the dots. I just wanted that to be wide at the bottom, because if it's not wide, then it won't work very well. Alright, you can bring these lines on down just a little bit. Don't bring them to the bottom, but you can stretch those out. We want them about a finger width from the bottom edge of the paper, because we want a big basket. So we want to get really close down to the bottom. Okay, now we just need to connect these 2 lines like this. Go halfway up. That's about halfway. I'm going to go straight across 1, straight across 2, and then I'm going to put a little piece out there on the end like that, and I'll do it again on the other side like that. Now I'm going to go around this handle again, and I'm going to put another line. I'm going to double this up. I'm going very slow, just right inside that line, very carefully, making a thick handle. Just take your time. If you need to turn your paper around so that it's more comfortable, that's okay. I'm watching that spacing, very carefully watching that spacing. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you keep it neat, it'll be better. Now mine's not perfect because it's wide over here and narrow there, but none of that matters. We've got a handle on our basket. I'm going to go over to this side, and I'm going to put a line that's really close to that edge. I'll do it again over here. This is going to help make the basket look round just a little bit. Then I'm going to go back and put another line, but I'm not going to put it quite so close. I'm going to spread it out just a little bit more so that the spacing is greater here. It's wider. I'm going to do it again, only I'm going to change the spacing again. And 2 more lines, and these are the widest spaces of all. And it helps a little bit make the basket look round. I'm going to darken the lines on the outside edge of my basket a little bit. I'm going to put little dots or circles just to break up that space, give it a little bit of, a decorative look. I'm going to go halfway down, and I'm going to put a line across my basket like this. You don't have to do this. You can do something different on your basket. And then I'm going to go in the middle of that space, and I'm going to do it again. One more time at the bottom, same thing. And my basket is finished. I'm going to put eggs in my basket, but you don't have to. You can put something else in your basket. For the eggs, I'm going to draw the oval shape big on one end and a little bit smaller on the other end. Now eggs are hard to draw, so if you don't get that, then just do it the best you can. I'm going to put one egg behind it. It's just an oval up and bend it around and bring it down. Here's another egg. Big on one end, a little bit smaller on the other end. And I might have room for another one. And it hit the handle, so I'll just quit right there. I'm going to put eggs in the back. They go like this. If you have little gaps, you can put little lines to show the bottoms of the eggs in the back, but you don't really have to. That's going to be a dark area, so you're not going to see much there anyway. Alright, I think I'm going to go with that. And then later, I'll go back and decorate those eggs, and you can too if you want to, but you can do something different if you don't want to decorate them. I'm going to put just a few little lines at the bottom that go every different direction. And I put grass at the bottoms of things that are outside because it helps make it look like it's sitting on a surface, the ground in particular. Okay, now I'm going to go right here and hook on, and I'm just going to go straight across and run off the edge. This divides the foreground from the background. And then I'm going to go over here and do the same thing. I'm going to draw a little chicken like this. And actually, I think I'll go ahead and put that chicken right here so you can see it. And then if you want to draw it different, you can. If you want to try those cracked eggs, well, those are tough. But you can try it if you want to. But I'm going to put the chicken right here. Now just follow along and do what I do. And it should work out all right. You see if I can zoom in a little bit on that, so that we just see this area right here, and the little chicken, I'll put it over here beside it. And I'm going to start with the circle for the head. I'm going to make a circle for the head right here. A little tiny triangle right there with a little dot, a flat line, and a rainbow shape. And then I'm just going to bring a line around like that, and I'm going to fill it in, but I'll leave a white spot near the top. Those little white spots help make things look more real. A few little lines like that, and I'll just go ahead and put a few detail markings back here. We don't have to do that just yet, but I'm going to. Now, the next circle makes it look a little bit like the number 8, except I'm going to slant it by putting this circle a little bit to the right. So it's big. It's a much, much, much bigger circle. And if yours ends up oval or shaped like a potato, that's even better. I'll go back and put this color on the baby chick because it kind of fills in that gap right there and makes it look better. I'm going to put a couple bow shapes there and make it look like a ribbon instead of a collar. Now we need this ice cream cone shape for the wings, so I'm going to go over here and draw the bottom of that ice cream cone shape, but this one's leaning over. Round over the top and then go like that. A few more lines this way, and then a little triangular shape like that. It's really not hard to do if you just do a little bit at a time and take your time. It'll turn out pretty well. Long leg 1, long leg 2. For the feet, I keep those really simple. I just put a little line that curves like that. And then I go back and put one that way and that way on both feet. Once again, I like the little grass markings just to show that it's sitting on the ground. And another thing, you can double thicken these lines, and that'll look better too. Baby chickens have long legs. A few detail marks for the soft feathers. We're not going to try to draw the feathers individually. There's no need to do that. And I believe the chicken is good to go. Now I'm going to do a rabbit. I'm going to go over on the other side, and I'm going to stay zoomed in so you can see better. Here's what the rabbit's going to look like. Now this one's big. I drew that one big for an example. And let me see. I'll lay it off camera over here, but we're not going to draw it that big. But if you want the rabbit, it's very much like the chicken starting out. We start with a round shape at the top, but I'm just going to draw the back side like a C, because the front, I want it to be rounded, but I want to stretch that out a little bit. And you know, that kind of looks like an egg. I just stretched it out a little bit so that I can put the nose out here on the end like this. See what I'm trying to get? And then I'm going to go right here and put the flat part of the eye and a rainbow shape over it. And very much like we did on the chicken, I'll fill that in, but I'll leave a little white spot near the top. Eyelashes, and I forgot to put those on the chicken. You can do that. I'm going to do it while I'm thinking about it because I'll forget about it later. And you can decide if you want to do that or not. You can do the ears like this one. You can just copy that. I'm going to do them a little bit different. I'm going to do the first one like that. But for the second one, I'm going to go up and bend it forward like this. Curve that back around underneath the top line, and then just 1, 2. Next, I'm going to put the mouth. And I like to give my characters human-like features. And I always make my characters smile. Well, almost always. Here's the eyebrow. And a few whiskers. The whiskers are important. Okay, now the back of the rabbit looks to me like a 6, like the number 6. We had an 8 for the chicken. We're going to use a 6 for the rabbit. It comes this way and then around. Now, you don't want the front of the leg to be in front of the nose because it'll look like it's leaning backwards. And I guess it's okay if it's what you want, but I want mine like this. I'm going to put a hook on point there, and then I'm just going to start the line that direction. I'm going to come down and bend it around just like a 6. I'm going to put the round tail like that. Just a couple marks while I'm in there. And then for the feet, I'm just going to go like a loop-de-loop. Come out and loop back. Put a couple of marks for the toes, and there you go. Not too hard. Now I'm going to put the front of the rabbit like that, but I'm going to change the arms, so I think I'll do them first. So I'm going to go from here out, and then I'm going to bend that down and then loop it back up, or curve it back up. And I'm going to hook back on, and I go this way and turn it up, and that makes the arm, or we know they're really feet, but I'm calling them arms because that's what they look like in this picture. Now, I'm going to put the front of the body in just like this. And then the other arm is just like this, and you don't see all of it, just a little bit of it. I'm going to change the back of the head a little bit, so if you don't have a way of erasing cleanly, then you don't probably want to do this, but I'm going to just change it a little bit to make it look more like, the texture of fur or hair. Alright, a few little details like this ribbon that goes around the rabbit's neck. And you can wait and color that later with some color. I'm just coloring it in to make it show up better. And here's a loop-de-loop for the bow. You don't have to put this, it's up to you. Then some little furry marks like this. Just soft fur, so these don't have to be real bold strokes, just like that. I like to put grass under the rabbit, also like I did the others, to make it look like it's sitting on the ground. Now let me show you a few tricks that I do when I make grass. I don't make it like toothpicks in the ground. I make the strokes go all different directions. That seems to look better. It looks a little more natural to me. But you can do it your way if you want to. And I don't put grass everywhere, just a few little, bits and pieces here and there. Alright, I'm going to show you one more thing, and you can decide if you want to do it or not. I'm going to put these trees in here. You don't have to, but I kind of like to use them to divide the sky from the ground. And I just use simple little curve strokes, and I just keep going. Now I'm going to play you some music while I finish this, and I'm going to do this at warp speed. So what you're about to see is not real time. It's sped up about 8 times. Just be sure when you color that you color very neatly. I'll show you on another project that I did earlier, and it's got some color like I like for you to do. It's just little short strokes that are lined up nice and neat. Work your way down slowly and get rid of the white streaks. It'll look much better. Alright, here's you some music. Hope it was fun.